Good evening everybody and welcome back to FTRL. We are back, it is 2022 and we are back here at the Hungary scene of many great F1 races here at FTRL. As season 18 picks up where it left off just before Christmas. 18 drivers on the grid tonight and we are at the tight and twisty Hungary, which has played host to some of the most dramatic races in FTRL history, and expect more of the same tonight. So we're on board then with TTG Tibos as he rounds first sector. A little bit of a moment there as he gets on the power of the hill. In fact, he backs out of his lap already. Not be improving this time around, so let's pick up Tom Duval. And he's a little bit further around and doing a personal best in sector 2. Of course, it is his first flying lap, so that should be the case. Final corner. See where he ends up. Of course, Tom Duval made his debut, I believe, at Hungary many moons ago, and his first flying lap puts a P4, a 15.4 then from Tom Duval, so handy opening lap for him, puts him into the second row of the grid then, but we find familiar faces atop of the standings. See going Dutch with Dylan, now up in P3 as well, good qualifying. Wesker finally showing a bit of pace up in P5, so both Red Bulls going well. Of course, numerous drivers have done the ultimate strategy there. You can see Suede, Shazoo Tom, Lynx, Dara and TTG Tibos all doing their laps on the mediums, and let's pick up who's furthest round, Noah Jones or Funky Fox? Funky Fox. And we'll get to do a lap then of the Hungary with the Mercedes man. Of course, last season's runner-up. Joint Constructors Champion with his teammate again this season, Lynx. And comes to the final corner. Again, to have a wide line there to maximise the traction out of the final corner. And now time then for a lap of the Hungary down at the start-finish straight. First of the DRS zones, and probably the best overtaking opportunity into turn 1. Hairpin. Now down nicely into the second DRS zone. Just short sprint up to turn 2 under the bridge. Might see some people trying to go around the outside here. It's tucks in nicely there. Goes nicely and then starts running up the hill using all the curbs. Goes into the tricky turn 4. This has seen many people spin off into the wall, but gets through there nicely. Mingoy curve on the inside. Gives that plenty of space. Then to the chicane. Go right against the high part of the curbs. On the grass on the exit nearly. Nice and tidy so far from Funky Fox. Fast left-hander. Down again into the right-hander. Plenty of curve on exit. Stays within track limits. Just down all the way to third gear for the right-hander. Big twitch there on exit then, trying to get the power down the back and trying to get away. Tucks in nicely though to the penultimate corner. All the track available to him. And then into this long, seemingly never-ending right-hander. Trying to get the power down as early as you can onto the DRS zone. And his first flying lap puts him third, 15.1 from Funky Fox then. Of course, last time out we were rerunning our Azerbaijan, which was race 3 of the season, and it was Shazoo Tom who finally triumphed after a couple of near misses in FTRL. Of course, his dramatic exit from Portimao. He was a front runner the first time around as well, so he broke his duck last time out. He currently sits P11, but he is on another out to just pick up then our most recent race winner. He has validated, so he is pulled up already. Going to pick up Dan Morrison in the other Williams then, so a couple of stand-ins tonight. Unfortunately, Yogi's not been able to get into the lobby, so we are down 1. But Noah Jones, who had a good run last time before a late spin out of the castle section, which also unfortunately caught up with Ox Hawks, who had stormed back through the field. Denied him a better result, and TRT Dara making his FTRL debut tonight, filling in for our Portuguese one-lap specialist CR7, whose wheel has capitulated. Let's go on board then with the McLaren man, see how he's going to get on. And lap on the mediums on board. He's 0.3 of a second up in sector 1, but a bit of a slide there into 4. Corner nicely up then to the chicane. Plenty of curb both sides. Nice and tidy there, using all that curb, opening the angle as much as he can do into this fast left-right section. Speed bump to about 165 for lift down the gear. And blast down then, third gear, 79 miles an hour. And rounding the penultimate corner. Now just one corner from home. Got a wide berth, they're going to tuck in tight. Gets the car straightened up. Shoot for the line, he goes 9th then on 15.5. From him, let's go pick up which tricks he's in the pits there. He's invalidated his lap. Tico also invalidated. Dylan goes back into the top 3. He goes 3rd. And for a man showing a nice turn of pace recently. Of course, got podium at the end of last season. He's currently in a podium position here so far. Lynx has just popped himself up to 4th ahead of his teammate. And 2 Mercedes 4th and 5th now. Gran up in P7 as well, so both Alfa Romeos going well. Well down to 8th, Corbo in the top 10. Let's get coming down the final corner. Is he going to improve on this run? There's 0.2 up in the second sector. That improves 0.2 overall, goes up to P8, a 15.3 for him. Alamaka going up to 9th then, just behind him. A 15.421. To the top 10 for the McLaren man. On a lap, he is indeed, and he is 0.3 of a second up in sector 1. Straight lining as much as he can on that curb. Really fast right-hander, try not to run too wide, stays within track limits. Down to second gear. Hogging that inside curb. Short path then up to the final corner, stays tight, straightens it up, power down. He's currently P14, it's going to be improving, he goes 3rd, 14.8 from him then, so just misses out on the front row. 7 thousandths of a second up on NLR Dylan. So very tidy that there from Matt, who had a good run last time out at Baku as well, so building some good form. What we like to see. We've got Noah Jones, looks like he's on a lap. We'll go on board with the Williams one. Of course, we're back again tomorrow here for more F1 action with Div 2, and then GT Sport returns Thursday and Friday. We're back to 2 divisions from this week. It is our final season on the GT Sport. We are going back to the BTCC season. We did a few seasons back. Everybody in Group 4 cars. 3 races to look forward to. The GT2 back on Thursdays. GT1 back on Fridays, 8 o'clock. Oh, big twitch there. Big twitch around he goes. Into the wall. And that is the end of that lap from Noah, so we'll not be improving on this run. Dutch Tricks interestingly sat in the pits on the mediums. Now, is he going to go for a late flyer on the medium tyre? Can he improve? Well, we shall see. We're into the final 5 minutes. Get on board then with Andwar. Good evening, Bagoon. Weaving his way through the S's. 67 there. Then he validates on the exit there, so Andy's lap is invalidated, unfortunately. And that's Shazoo Tom. We'll go on board then with last time's out race winner. Turn 3 up the hill then towards turn 4, at the first checkpoint, and he is 0.3 of a second up. Plenty of curb. Ooh, that's very wide though. Over the curb. And that, I think, will put pay to this lap. Be improving on this run, he will have to go again. With just 3 minutes 17 to go. And a lot of the drivers now starting to head out onto track for their final run. Dutch Tika going early. This is Funky Fox. Tika a little bit further up the road, so they decided to get on track early to try and get a clear track, because this is a circuit where traffic can be a big problem. It's very tight, very narrow, difficult to overtake. Which seems determined to let Funky Fox go, but Funky Fox seems happy to sit behind him, try and get a bit of slipstream. Good evening, Mathman. It would appear that Mr. Trippier is on his way. 12 mil is a bit of a still. I keep seeing 25 mil banded around. I don't know where you got 12 mil from. We'll go on board then with the current provisional pole sitter, Tico, 14.7. The time to beat. Dutch then was just playing games. He is out on the soft tyre just behind him. Stay on board with the top two. He's got a bit of traffic just ahead of him. It looks like Andy. He should be far up ahead of all. A bit of a twitch there from Tico through 3. He's slightly down in sector 1, then go back to pick up Dutch Tricks. No such dramas for him, and he is up by 1/10 of a second in sector 1. Tico has abandoned his lap. And Dutch, like he's abandoned. Oh, Dutch has invalidated his as well, so both the top two invalidating their runs. And that Funky Fox, he was maybe hoping for a tow from Dutch Tricks. I'm going to get it now. It's past the Red Bull man. Currently P6. To the sector 2 checkpoint. Oh, he invalidates on the exit there of the corner though. That's his run ruined about his teammates. He was down in sector 1. Around any time in sector 2. He has not, so he's still down on his current best time. Another one who made his debut in FTRL at this circuit. A bit of a slip from there from the AlphaTauri at the final corner. He was only marginally down his current provisional best. Does he find any time in the final sector? He does. He improves marginally, but not enough to jump him up, so he stays P5. What about our current P3? Tibos is up in sector 1 by 7 thousandths. The current gap he holds over Dylan, who is behind him. He needs to find 300ths of a second if he wants to get onto the front row. However, I believe Dutch Tricks is going again. He is, as is Tico. But Tico is first in the queue, so we've got Tico, who is now invalidated. Run again. Tibos is up. This could be a pole lap here for TTG Tibos. Can he maintain that pace with the final sector? Is there any more time to find? Slipping onto the corner. Got to wait ages to get on the power into the final corner. Stays nice and tight. Hogging that apex, straightens it up. And that's a blast to the line. And it is provisional pole, 14.6 for him. Dutch Tricks behind him. He was also up. Here he comes for the line. And it's pole. That's a 14.4 for Dutch Tricks. He finds loads of time in the final sector. Funky Fox meanwhile has jumped ahead of Bernard Dillon. He has invalidated his final run, so he will not be improving. He'll be starting P5. Unless there's going to be any improvement from Wesker. Train's already over the line. No, Wesker's going into the pit, so he's not going to improve on his lap. Dara's also gone off on his lap, so he will not be improving. I see. And that then appears to be that meanwhile Andwar up to P7. So snuck in a late flyer. This is going to be an improvement as well. And that then is that. Qualifying done his Dutch tricks, then emphatically taking pole position despite invalidating his first run. 14.4, 2/10 of a second up on TTG Tibos, but a great run for him to start on the front row. We find Tico in P3 with Funky Fox alongside him P4, and Al Dillon good qualifying for him in P5 with Lynx alongside him. Andy up in P7, good qualifying from him with Noah Jones in 8th, Sway is 9th, and Adamako rounding out the top 10. They of course will all start on those soft tyres on which they're qualified. And then we get free tyre choice for the remainder of the grid, starting with Graham in P11, Wesker P12. Tom Duval 13th, is TGRT, Dara is 14th, Corboy is 15th, Shazoo Tom, winner last time out, but got one lap in on the mediums. He starts P16 this time, and the two drivers who did not set the time, Dan and Zumpy, will start at the back, but with free tyre choice. And there we go then, qualifying done. We have now got 36 laps ahead of us for the race at a tight and twisty circuit that usually provides some brilliant racing. What are we expecting for tonight in the chat? Let's see your podium predictions. I'm going to go, I think it's hard to look past Dutch Tricks, especially in dry conditions. Which I agreed with Dutch Tricks for the win. I'm going to go for TTG Tibos to be second. And I'm going to go for Funky Fox to be third. The grid form's up then. Let's see what tyres those outside the top 10 have gone for. We run down the grid then. It is Dutch Tricks into 2022, and well, taking up a familiar position. New year, same Dutch Tricks. He is on provision. Well, he's not provisional pole. He is on pole position then for round 5 of the season. TTG Tibos joins him alongside him in the Aston Martin. Good qualifying for him. What can he do? Can he challenge? Can he get his first FTRL win? I don't think he's got one to his name yet. He's shown excellent speed in his time here, but yet to stand on top of the podium. Could tonight be the night? Tico, always a formidable force around here. He is P3. He's got the young gun in the Mercedes. Funky Fox alongside him. Dylan showing a great run of form recently. Can he get another podium? Oh, the two Alpines have come together further back, but we'll get up to them in a minute. Then he starts Dylan starting P5 alongside the reigning champ Lynx. He had a bit of a mare last time out, contact with a couple of the drivers, not necessarily all his own fault, and he had a bit of a race to forget in Azerbaijan. He'll be looking to bounce back here though. Andor up in P7, good qualifying from the Hazman. Noah starting P8, filling in for Funky Chicken. Hopefully he will get his pedals, or his wheel and paddles sorted out for next week. The ever lovable Sway up in P9, and Adamako rounding out the top 10. Then they all start on the soft tyres on which they qualified. Then it then is free tyre choice for the remainder of the grid, starting with Graham in P11. He's on the mediums. Wesker starts P12 on the hard tyre then, so he's gone different to the rest of the field. Tom Duval starting 13th, he is on the medium. You usually want to go aggressive at the start then, but he's gone for the alternate strategy this time. as has TRT Dara on debut. Starts on the mediums, the two Alpines, 15th and 16th, Callboy and Shazoo Tom. Starting on the mediums, Dan is on the mediums in 17th, and rounding out the grid, the second of the Ferrari, Zumpy. What can he do from the back of the grid? He's going aggressive off the start though, starting on the soft tyre. So the grid is formed up. We've got 3, 4 and 5 red lights, and the Hungarian Grand Prix is go. And it's a good start from Tico. Dutch comes over to cover TTG Tibos. Tico looking to go along the outside. TTG Tibos down the inside into turn 1. They're going to go 3 wide, are they? Can they all make it around? They can. A bit of contact, a bit of rubbing. Tico's going to get the drive off of TTG Tibos on the grass. In the background, that looks like Wesker's gone round. Contact with Dan, was it? But it's Tico that gets the jump into the lead of the race. Dylan's up to 3rd. He's had a great start. TTG Tibos with the grass on his tyres. Yellow virtual safety car already. What's happened to Shazoo Tom? Oh, he dropped it as well. So was it perhaps him that came together with Wesker? No front wing on the Alpine. So drama already. Just one corner in. And a big move then. Tico then jumping from 3rd into the lead as the top 2 came together on the exit of turn 1. TG Tipper getting spat onto the grass, and that drops him behind Lynx and Dylan as well. Big move of Zumpy up 5 then, so those soft tyres have really worked out nicely for him on the opening lap. He is up to 13th then under the VSC already. 35 lap racer in, not 36. In KC, chat, thank you for tuning in. Maxi Sion reckons Lynx Dutch Sway for the podium. Well, Lynx has gone forward, Dutch is in the mix. Sway up 1 as well into P8. So come around Fleet up 1. Still under the VSC. Suzuki will be hoping it stays a little bit longer. Oh, drive-through penalty for Wesker. Into turn 1, Lynx are looking at the Dylan. Funky Fox going around the outside. Oh, he's got the inside of TG Tibos. The Funky Fox on his toes. TG Tibos coming back at him though. Into turn 2, they're going to go wheel to wheel, are they? The camera cuts away, but Funky Fox has got the move done. He was on his toes at the restart there. The great move, yellow flag further back. What's that? Dara into the pits as well. And perhaps it was him that came together with Wesker. He was carried on, so it looks like he has avoided any damage. Back to the not had best opening lap. It's a shame. Safety cars are a thing here, so he could have come back into this one, but not tonight, unfortunately. So it's from first to worst for him. We get a flag. Oh, Dara's now gone off as well. Further back, he's gone out on the hard tyres, dropped it on the exit of turn 3. Yellow flag's out, but no safety car or VSC, so we are carrying on as Tico sets the first flying lap, and as such takes the fastest lap of the race. DRS then has been enabled now, so we start seeing some moves start to happen. We've got a big DRS train. Pretty much everybody apart from Wesker, I think, is in the train. So it will just be Tico, who doesn't have DRS as they come up the hill for the 3rd time. Yellow flag set to 3, and Wesker's now retired as well, so a second retirement. Wesker, who served his drive-through, has decided not tonight. So 2 down already, unfortunately. Tico, meanwhile, continues at the front untroubled, leading now by over a second, so that could be critical if he can stay out DRS range. Leave Dutch Tricks to fend off the chasing pack led by NL and Dylan. Good evening, Unsafe. Thank you for joining in. Oh no, and TRT Dara, his debute's gone terribly as well. Speeds in the pit lane as he joins, and he has also called it quits tonight. Unfortunately, not the debut he wanted. I'm sure he will get more chances and around the final corner, and I'm on board with Dylan at the moment. He is in DRS range of Dutch Tricks, who is not in DRS range of Tico. However, I think he's got a sizable enough lead and be close enough for a move, because he seems to be fairly well spread out on the run down to turn 1. Adamaka doesn't have DRS now, and he's got Tom Duval looking up the inside into 1. Tom, lead driver on the alternate strategies, then got Zumpy behind him, of course, who's on the fresh soft tyres. He started at the back, he's out to 12th. So he's been the big mover. And so third position is Raffaele Marciello, Kevin Estra, and I don't know who's Yamnia. I don't know him. Flummoxed me there, unsafe. Who is that? Tell me more. We've got a little break then, so the top 9 all in, well, say top 9. The leader is now 1.3 seconds ahead, so Tico is out of DRS range and pulling away from Dutch Tricks at the moment. So lead Dutch are vulnerable to Dylan behind, however, everybody's quite spread out. It's difficult to follow around here because it's quite a twisty circuit. Which means that when the tyre advantage starts to come in, as Noah picks up the first penalty for track limits on lap 4. Places around here where it is quite bad. Into the pits then comes Noah. So he picked up some damage perhaps. Look at the Williams man, into the pits he comes. Going to drop him all the way down to the back, or is he? This is a scheduled stop. On board for the Williams man as he trundles down pit lane into his pit box. No, it looks like a scheduled stop, then onto the hard tyre. And he is on his way, and so he drops out of P9, I believe he was. TK continues to lead, that gap now 1.5 seconds, and so Ferrari man has had his Weetabix this morning. He's off and running, pulling away from our pole sitter. Dylan sitting in 3rd. 2 Mercedes behind him, and then TTG Tibbles, who's got shuffled back quite badly so far. Finds himself down in P6. Funky Fox though with a penalty now, so a guy running P5. He's under attack from the Aston Martin of TTG Tibbles, who can very much back into the pits. Then comes Funky Fox. Is he also now going to go into the hard tyre? Yellow flag sector 2. Oh, it's Noah Jones, I think. It is. Oh, the Williams man's lost his front wing. That will ruin his attempted undercut one-stop strategy. So Adamaka in as well, and they're going to the medium tyre then, so different strategies playing out. Hard tyres seemingly struggle to switch on. We've seen Wesker, Dara, and now Noah all have dramas on them. No dramas, however, for the race leader. He is now 2 seconds to the good. Yes, oh, now Noah gets a penalty for speeding of the pit lane, and he too calls it a night. So dropping like flies early on. Only on lap 6, 4 down already. Stika continues to push on. A little bit wide though next to the right-hander. That could have been a track limit warning. Tom Duval now with a track limit penalty. Now P8 behind his teammate. Coming around then to complete into the pits comes Dylan, and so 3rd place now in. A lot of drivers getting off these soft tyres early. Track is a bit of a tyre killer, so the softs not lasting very long for those who did their qualifying on them. What tyre is he going to go onto? He's going to go onto the hard tyre. And away he goes. Now are Funky Fox and Adamako hoping for a safety car. Will allow them to do another stop. Here comes Funky Fox. It's going to be close between him and Dylan. Dylan's just going to get out ahead of him. However, with better tyres, you would fancy Funky Fox to be on the attack. We've seen Dylan, we've seen the other runners on the hard tyres struggle. Can Dylan keep it pointing in the right direction? Was, of course, net P3. I see then. Getting a GT lesson there from Unsafe. Matthew Jaminet, 2018 champion at ADAC. Yeah, so Marciello is probably one of the quickest GT riders around in that Mercedes. It's difficult between him. Van der Linde on his day is a very quick boy as well. As is Johnny Adam. Johnny Adam, I really rate Johnny Adam. I think Johnny Adam is absolutely outstanding in that Aston Martin. Still under pressure from Funky Fox, who's on those medium tyres. He's closed right in. Then could we see an overtake or attempt into turn 1? We'll have the DRS. Nobody pitting this time around. I think Dylan's got it covered this time though. We'll go back then to the race leader. That lead now 3 seconds. Tico is absolutely cruising away at the front. Yellow flag. Oh, it's the other Ferrari. Zumpi's gone around on the exit of turn 2. That's a shame for him. He made really good progress from the back of the grid. Was running P8 as the big contact as he dropped it on his own. He was battling with Sway. On those soft tyres on which he started. Indeed, yeah, indeed. So there's a lot of good. There's a lot of quick GT drivers around at the moment. But yeah, so like I say, Marciello definitely up there into the pits. Then that was Andy into the pits. Then so Andor into the pits. As his links from P3, top 2 carried on. Tibbos back up to P3 then. He has carried on. He now chases back up to Dutch Tricks. Also into the pits now comes Sway. Excuse me. Hard tyres for Lynx. The guys have got Andy into the hard tyre as well. Sway onto the mediums. Dylan going to come through here. So Dylan comes through. Funky Fox right on his tail again. They have jumped Lynx. Adamako has jumped Andwar and Sway, so that's a good move there from Adamako. Those medium tyres have served him well. Some people to the pits for the hards. And he is on his way again. So running order then on lap 9 of 35. Tico Lee, did he have a bit of a twitch there? Or was that just the rapid direction change of the Ferrari? Looked like they had a bit of a snap there, but he keeps it going, and the lead stays at 3.8 seconds. Dutch Tricks now second. TT Tibbos in third. Tom Duval up to fourth then on the alternate strategy. So looking very good for him at the moment. Graham up to P5 in the Alfa Romeo. Then you've got Dan in P6, Corbo in P7. They've just been quietly going about their business. Find themselves in 7th. Race leader is in. Second place is in as well. Third place is in as well. So your top 3 are in. Now, where are they going to come up relative to Dylan, Funky Fox? Here then comes Dylan. Where is Tico? He's on his way. Tico into turn 1. Here's Dylan on the outside. He's just held on to it. Dylan's going to try and switch back though. Tico on cold tyres. But he's just held him off. The undercut has worked out very, very nicely for Dylan and Funky Fox. Lynx has also jumped Dutch Tricks, and that's a Dutch has lost out badly to the undercut. And are those medium tyres going to get him to the end is the next question. Look at this then, Dylan attacking, trying to attack Tico, but still defending hard from Funky Fox, who's now thinking about a move up the inside into the chicane. Not quite close enough. Have to drop in behind. Twitch there from Funky Fox on the exit. Lynx, there he is, Dutch closing in. Of course Lynx is on the hard tyres, Dutch is on the mediums. Adamako's now got TTG Tibbos on his tail. TTG Tibbos just out the pits on fresh medium tyres. Andy on the back of those. And Sway, and then Zumpy having had that spin. Down in P14, but on the hard tyres he can go to the end. Will the safety car play a part later on? We shall see. Tom Duval then leading the race by 2.2 seconds. We've got Graham, Dan and Joe Corboy all running a nose to tail. A very Irish contingent as Dutch Tricks making the move on Lynx into 1. DRS enabled. And then have it again on the exit now. That should help him defend into turn 2. That's move done for Dutch back up a position. Then he's leapfrogged ahead of one of the Mercedes. He's now got 2.1 seconds to try and close on Funky Fox. We're still looking at the back of that Alfa Romeo. Tico now getting the hammer down, trying to pull away. Of course, he's on medium tyres, so ooh, a bit of a twitch there from Funky Fox. Curve through the chicane. They're commenting that Shane Van Gisbergen might be back in GTs. It'd be great to see him back in a McLaren. He did come back over. Round the hairpin we go then, so pick up the race leader till Tom Deval, 2.1 seconds to the good. And you've got Graham, Dan and Joe running line astern. Tico then setting a new fastest lap of the race, an 18.0. Dutch Tricks, however, quickly takes it away from him, an 18.05 as well. And then TG Tibos, a 17.8. He has then got the bit between his teeth and is flying up towards the back of Lynx now. Lynx dropped over a second behind Dutch Tricks already. He's got the magnets very much on the back of Funky Fox. He's got that gap down to 1.2. And then his second out of them, so is that Dylan maybe holding Funky Fox up on those hard tyres. See there, carries a bit more speed through turn 4. Got closing up, one's a bit wide there though. Don't want to be over that curve. And there is Tico, net race leader. Of course, the 4 cars ahead of him yet to make their stop. Dutch Tricks has bridged that gap then, so Dutch Tricks is now on the back of Funky Fox. So Funky Fox is now going to go from just attacking to attacking and defending. And penultimate corner we go. Dylan then trying to build as much of a buffer as he can out of the final corner. Funky Fox has now got Dutch Tricks right on the back of him. They come out the final corner, he will have DRS as well. However, Dutch Tricks applying his ERS. Fox covering the inside. Dutch will have to go around the long way. Fox gives him the squeeze. Oh, they almost touch. Fox just covers off the move, but Dutch is going to go for it again. He's up the inside as they come up towards turn 2. Funky Fox gives him the room. Dutch is up the inside. They're going to bump tyres, are they? Still side by side through 3. Dutch over the curb. Who's going to seed here? Surely Dutch is going to give this. No, he's going to send it into 4. Oh, and around he goes. And around goes the Red Bull. Perfect 360. Gets going again. Watch his tyre. Oh, he's snaking the tyres are very hot after that spin. Get another twitch there. He was brave to try and send it up the inside of the 4. And that's not worked out for the Red Bull man. Around he went. Was there any contact? Oh, penalty for Tico now. So our net race leader has picked up a time penalty for track limits. Was there then any contact between Dutch and Funky Fox, or was it just too much cover? Oh dear me, Funky Fox lighting up the rears out the penultimate corner. He can now focus on trying to attack again. Behind him, TG Tibos now on the back of Lynx. Down the inside, Lynx not fighting that one too hard. Let's TG Tibos have the move. Oh, and then has a big moment himself on the exit as well. Another one lying up the rear tire. Both Mercedes looking a little bit leery at the back. That leaves TTG Tibos uncontested into turn 2. Further back, Sway and Adamaka going at it. Adamaka right under the rear wing of Sway here. Is he going to think about the same move that we just saw Dutch attempt on Funky Fox? And he thinks better of it. Behind them, looking to start through there. Andy just ahead of these guys. He's on the hard tyres. Sway picks up a penalty. So we've got a 4-car battle going on here now with Anwar, Sway, Adamaka and Dutch Tricks. Dan Morris, but they both got DRS from Graham, but they seem content to just run around. Of course, they're on the alternate strategy, so they are trying to get to a point in the race where they can switch to probably the soft tyre. Further back this way, getting the move done on Andwar. Dutch getting the move done on Adamako. So 2 moves done. Oh, and that was not great. And a safety car has been deployed as the McLaren spins into the wall. Now then, does this... What's happened there? What's happened to Dan? Well, Dan's been off somewhere. Yeah, you can see him there trying to hold together his rear tyres. Dutch has got a pedal. Oh, round goes Dan again. And TG Tibos has to take avoiding action. As Dan on those hot tyres, having just spun, loses it again. Now, what does this do for the race leaders? Because this is not ideal for them. That's right, Tom's in. They'll have to go surely for the hard tyres from here. Graham's in as well, so it's Corboy. Like Tico's going to carry on. Yeah, hard tyres Tom Deval. Graham into his box. It is the hard tyres for him as well. Yeah, it's the only tyres they can really go on to. We're on lap 15, still got 20 laps to go. What does Zumpy do here? He's obviously at the back anyway. He's got a free pit stop. He'll be on the back of the train, so he can maybe go for the medium tyres from here. Fox has pitted as well. He's onto the mediums. Link's in as well. Dan in, of course, having just had his moment. He'll have to go into the hards. So that shuffles the order up nicely. And everybody forming up behind the safety car. And so running order on lap 16 now of 35. Tico back into the race lead. However, are those tyres going to get him to the end is the question. Behind him you've got Dylan on the hard tyres. Now they will get him to the end. Will he have enough to fend off those behind? TTG Tibos is P3. His way back forward, and then Tom Deval, that pit stop has worked out really nicely for him. That's come at a really good time. He's out in P4. Having made his pit stop, he's on fresh tyres. I can get him to the end. Tom Deval now in a very strong place. He's got his teammate behind him, Sway in 6th, and Graham, having just pitted, is 6th. Corboy is 7th. That's him. Dutch has recovered to P8. Funky Fox took the opportunity to make a new pit stop. Fresh mediums for him and his teammates, so they're now 9th and 10th, and we're onto fresh mediums as well. Having pitted for the hards. Dan has gone onto the hard tyre and just had that spin, unfortunately. And Zumpy onto fresh mediums. He will then be on the back of the pack again, though. So what's going on there? Into the pits is coming Dan Morris. He's going off the hard tyres. He's going to go back onto the mediums here, I reckon. Good evening, Zomwa. Are you looking forward to getting back on track on Thursday? That's a very pretty Renault Mechanicals. So down into the pits then. Yeah, he's going to go back onto the medium tyres then, so they'll now get him to the end. And he will be a little bit more racy on softer rubber. And behind the Mercedes safety car this week. And the running order is Tico, Dylan, Matt Tibos, Tom Deval, Sway, Graham, Joe Corboy, Dutch Tricks, Funky Fox, Lynx, Andwar, Zumpy and Dan, and just 13 runners remaining at half a race distance. 5 retirements so far. Shazoo Tom, TRT Dara, Wesker, Noah Jones and Adamako unfortunately have met their demise through various means. Unfortunately a few drivers I think haven't got early penalties or had early accidents. Calling it a night safety car in this lap then, so we're about to go racing again. So Tika will take over as the pace setter. He's on the medium tyre, so he will have a tyre advantage, and so will TTG Tibos on Dylan, who is 2nd, so expect the Aston Martin to be racy. And when does Tico pull the trigger? Dylan trying to get some heat into those hard tyres. A long way around and away he goes. It's a good restart from the race leader. Further back, looks like Joe Corby's had a good run. And indeed, he's also now depending from Dutch. Here comes Dutch, here comes the Mercedes as well. I thought Corby had a good start, but he might be under attack here. He is indeed. Dutch is up the inside. Through he goes. So Dutch tricks on his toes and up to P7. Now the Mercedes looking racy as well, so is Zumpy on Andwar. Further back, what's going to happen there? They're going to get around okay. Oh, one of the Mercedes up the inside is Funky Fox on Corby. Oh, now he's side by side with Lynx as well. Pushing and shoving up the hill. Oh, and Zumpy's going to get in there as well. Corby on those hard tyres, struggling to get them switched on. Around the outside goes Zumpy. Great move from the Ferrari. Here comes Andwar now at the inside as well. Flick through the chicane. Where are they going to appear out? Oh, Andwar's got forced out there, and he's lost out, in fact. Corby holds him off, and Dan sneaks through as well. So Corby on those hard tyres, struggling to get them switched on. Losing a number of places, but getting his elbows out to hold off Andwar. Tika then jumping away from the field. 1.4 seconds. Dan with the penalty now for track limits. And it is Dylan now who's going to be under attack from first. The medium shod Aston Martin, of course, no DRS for 2 laps after a safety car, so no DRS this time. Dutch making a move on Graham into turn 1. It's just the tyre advantage there he's got there. You can see the medium runners now all over the back of these hard runners as they try to get those tyres switched on. Joe and Dan going at it further back. Down around the outside. Oh, and there's contact, and around goes Corby. Oh, that's just a shame for Joe. He gets it going again. He looks as if he's got his wing intact. So just with a side-on-side contact there. He was up the inside. Dan swept around the outside. Just a bit contact on the inside there, and unfortunately around goes the Alpine. Dylan becoming a bit of a roadblock now. Tico 2 seconds ahead already as he tries to get those hard tyres switched on, but he can definitely get to the end of the race on those. There will be question marks over Tico and Matt Tivos' tyres. Same with Sway and Dutch, in fact. Are they going to get them to the flag? Well, they need another stop. Is that why Tico is off and running? Dylan's doing a really good job so far of holding him off. The DRS is about to be re-enabled. He's got a decent enough run this time. He's not going to be under pressure into turn 1. Funky Fox thinking about a move on Dutch tricks further back. Zumpy and Graham. Zumpy gets on the inside of Graham, gives him the room. Sweeps around the outside though, keeping the momentum up. Zumpy's going to go for it again. Graham's just going to escort him wide, takes the line, and holds position for now. Zumpy having a really good run up the hill there. You can see that the tyre advantage. No way through. It's difficult to make moves here, other than the sort of 2 conventional overtaking places, turns 1 and turn 2. Goes. Tico's taking out 3 seconds, and he's absolutely flying since the restart. He does have a penalty to his name, so he does need to be at least 3 seconds up the road as it stands. Funky Fox now picks up a second time penalty. Dutch is now on the back of Sway, and he's got the Mercedes swarming over the back of him. Training down the straight, who's going to be the first one without it. Dutch is now going to be under pressure here. Funky Fox is close, looks to the inside. The DRS I think is going to save him. Then thought about a move on Zump into 1, didn't quite have enough traction off the final corner to get close enough. A great battle here. Dylan has managed to hold off TGG Tibbles for the time being. Sweep through turn 3. Funky Fox and Dutch tricks in the background, those looking very racy. Oh, he's showed to the inside there. Dutch knows too well that move does not work. It was these two that came to blows earlier on that sent Dutch spinning. Whether or not they were battling, shall we say. I don't know whether it was actually contact or it was just off the curb. looking particularly racy on those fresh tyres. Dutch's tyres 10 laps old, Funky Fox is just 4. They have both had a few laps behind the safety car, so will not be too bad. Race lead now 3.5 seconds, so Dylan now just losing about half a second to lap to Tico rather than a full second. Ooh, Dutch tricks that big slide out the penultimate corner. It's not going to do his tyres any good. It's not right on the back of Sway. We'll have DRS again. Big DRS train going on here. Dylan's doing a really good job at the front of this queue to hold everybody at bay. Further back, Dan getting the move done on Graham. Is Andy going to send it as well? Jinx out, but Jinx back in again. Wasn't quite close enough. Might be close enough though into turn 2. Graham sees him coming, goes to the middle of the road. That's man no way through. Funky Fox not able to find a way past Dutch tricks just yet, but Dutch looking a little bit ragged. 3 tyres. Funky Fox a little bit of a slide through 4. At the head of this train doing a really good job still on those hard tyres. Tico's lead is now 4 seconds. And we've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th all in a train. Oh, that's Dutch just going very wide. Dutch already has 1 penalty to his name for track limits. Let's have a look at the penalty situation in fact. 3 seconds for the race leader, 3 for Tom Duval in 4th, 3 for Sway, 3 for Dutch, 6 for Funky Fox and 6 for Dan Morris. And despite that moment, Dutch to the inside. Sway sees him coming, leaves him a bit of room. He's going to sweep around the outside. Dutch has had a bit of a moment there trying to get the power down. And Sway will cross over and hold position then. Meanwhile, Lynx has got a... Oh, contact between the 2 Mercedes! And Funky Fox's wing is gone. Oh, that's such a shame there. Funky Fox doing a really good job battling hard with Dutch tricks. Looked like Lynx just pipped him into turn 1. And as he tried to make a move back into turn 2, they've come together and the season's runner-up has lost his front wing, and that's not what you want to see between teammates. Dutch now on the back of Sway again. Stays well within track limits. A long way to go for Funky Fox as well. Turn 2 is a long way from the pits. He's got a long way to go. Oh, what's happened further back? Schoolboy gone around. Has there been contact? He's trying to go past Funky Fox. Tico's lead is now 5 seconds, so he is off and running. Question marks remain. Are his tyres going to get him to the flag? Dylan again doing a really good job. Here comes Dutch on Sway again into turn 1. He's down the inside. Sway again though running around the outside. He's going to have the momentum off the corner. He'll have the inside for turn 2 as well. He's going to make Dutch work for it. Dutch tries to squeeze into the apex. However, he then sweeps around the outside. He's got the inside for 3. They're still side by side going up the hill. But I think Dutch has got the move done. He has. And he's back into P5. Great move there. Great setup. Great respect shown from those 2. Oh, and wide goes Sway. Loses the place to Lynx and Zumpy. Funky Fox has reached the pits. Might maybe think go onto the soft tyres here. Hope for a safety car. And then you never know what will happen from there. No, he's on his way again. No tyres. Didn't know you could do that. No. Battle continues. Dylan still holding this pack at bay, doing an absolutely outstanding job in P2. I bet TG2 was closer this time. Good evening, Oscar. Dylan having to go defensive this time. TG2 was to the outside. Dylan's going to try and squeeze him on the exit. TG2 was trying to go for the run around the outside, but Dylan covers the line brilliantly. TG2 was got to the outside again though for turn 2. Can he get around the outside? Can he hold him there? I think he's got the move done here. He has indeed. Great there, driving from those 2. And Matt Tibbles up to P2. Great respect shown from those 2 again. Oh, yellow flag further back. What's that? Oh, Zumpi's gone. Oh, and Zumpi's crashed at the exit turn 4. And safety car is out. So our first victim at turn 4 is the Ferrari of Zumpi. Car is clear then, yeah. It's the first one we've seen go tonight. It's a corner that's been particularly problematic over the years. You just clip that curve on the inside. Now, what does our race leader do here? He's going to pit, so race leader's going to pit here. Tico is in. What about TTG Tibos? He's going to carry on, so he's going to risk it. Anybody else going to risk the pit? In comes Dutch Tricks. He doesn't think he can get to the end. Dan Morris is in. Sway is in. Anwar is in as well. So the driver's further back, got nothing to lose. Why not Tico onto the soft tyre? That's his Dutch Tricks. Medium tyres for Sway. Soft for Anwar, soft for Dan. Soft for Graham as well. So 26 of 35 then. Safety car is called again after Zumpi's demise. TTG Tibos then now leading the race. Dylan is second, Tom Duval is third, Lynx is fourth. They have stayed out. Our former race leader, Tico, now has pitted off onto the soft tyre. So he will be very, very quick. Does he have enough time? Well, he definitely should have enough time. It's whether or not he can get the opportunities to pick his way back through to the race lead. And of course he then needs to get away as well because he's got that penalty hanging over him. That's as Dutch as does Dan. Now Sway interestingly has gone onto the medium tyres then. I thought he would have picked the softs. Maybe he's been struggling a little bit with overheating. Oh, what's happened to Lynx? Oh, Lynx has spun under the safety car. And so the man who was running in P4 has spun. And Lynx is going to be absolutely kicking himself for that. Oh, the Mercedes man, is he going to pit now? You'd think so. Yeah, safety car is still out, so in he goes. Get some fresh soft tyres on. Also in ahead of him is Sway. Sway has pulled out. He decided to pit. In fact, yeah, maybe he did mean to pit the put the medium tyres on. Yep, soft tyres ready for him this time. Mixing as well. Soft tyres onto the Mercedes. There he goes. Fox will jump them both. Interestingly, he hasn't pitted again. I thought he would have taken this opportunity to pit, but he's stayed out on those medium tyres. A 12 lap hold. So then Tico now on the back of the top on the podium. He's now sitting P4 but on fresh soft tyres, so 3 cars to pass to get himself back into the lead of the race. Then he's got to try and make a gap. However, he has now got his countryman in the Red Bull. Mr. Dutch Tricks are right behind him again. So Dylan and Matt Tibos, first and second, do not have any penalties to their name. So they need Tom Duval to do them a favour and try and hold off Tico and Dutch as long as he can. They can try and pull a bit of a gap, because with no penalties to their name. But we saw how quickly Tico was able to pull away from Dylan in that first stint, or that last stint rather. Those hard tyres struggling to switch on. Safety car is in this lap then, so we will resume racing on lap 28. Yes, maybe we have got a few retirements. A few of them were mainly for people making mistakes early on and deciding they didn't want to spend all night trundling around at the back, even though there's been a number of safety cars, so we've lost at least 3 drivers that way. We were 1 down because Yogi forgot to turn on his notifications to allow requests. So there we go, here we go then, racing again, out the final corner. It's been a good restart from Tico. He's looking very racy straight off the bat. down the inside. You'd think with the tyre advantage this should be a bit of a formality here. He's up the inside. Tom de Val's going to try and run around the outside, but he ends up off track. He's going to let Dutch up the inside as well. He's going to run on the outside into turn 2, get the move already done in fact, so through they go. And while looking at the back of Dan though, both on fresh soft tyres though. And Tico already on the back of Dylan. He's got such a massive tyre advantage, but this is brave. Oh, he's wide. He just about gets it done. Oh, dear me. Clench the buttocks there as he went side by side through the Dutch. Up the inside as well. Wow. Dutch trick's not hanging around into the chicane. Striking while the iron's hot. Oh, Andoir's gone. Another retirement. Unfortunately, Callboy now picks up a track limit warning. And Tom, who was running third at the restart, is down to P11. Has he come together with Andy there? Tico now attacking for the race lead again. He's just hanging on around the penultimate corner, but up the inside, Tico in the final corner. Oh, the wheel to bashing wheels at the final corner. And back into the lead of the race. The side linked with the fastest lap of the race further back. The wheel to wheel for the race lead. Tico down the inside. TG Tiboff's trying to sweep around the outside, but can't do it. He hasn't got the grip, and Dutch Tricks is up the inside and through. Race on. Dan Morris going for it on links. They're now side by side into 2. Dan getting the move done, is he? Now the front 2 need to pull away. They've got 6 laps. Yellow flag sector 2. Oh, is it links? It is. He's spun on the exit 4. The Mercedes man, it's such a shame battling over P4. Top 2 pulling away. They're already 1.6 seconds clear of Matt Tibos in third, who's now got Dan Morris all over the back of him. Graham could factor in for the podium here as well. He's in the hunt as well. Fresh, soft tyres. Got ahead of his teammate. No penalties to his name as well if he can stay with Dan in the Williams. If they can both clear Matt Tibos in the Aston Martin, Graham could be very much in contention for a podium. Here comes Dan on Matt Tibos. And through he goes. Williams man getting the move done. Just so much more grip on those fresh soft tyres. And Matt Tibos will be ruining not pitting now. Same with Dylan. You see just how much more grip those soft tyres have got at this stage against old, used mediums and hards. Almost like trying to stop a rainstorm with a tissue. Graham looking at the back of Matt Tibos into the chicane. Not close enough this time. Seems to pull away to top 3 now. All on fresh tyres. Tico, Dutch and Dan. But they need to pull away because they all have penalties. I think your top 2 are now out of that 3-second range. So they are now fighting out for the win. Dan's got 6 seconds of penalty, so he really needs to get the hammer down. Tico, who's just had the measure of Dutch so far in this race, pushing hard now, trying to get that gap over a second again. Is Graham going to be close enough to the Aston Martin? He's right in the slipstream. DRS is open. Down the inside, they've both got DRS. Graham going for a late move up the inside. Sees the Aston Martin out wide, although he's still got a bit of an overlap. No, too much more grip off the corner. And gets the move done. He's up to P4 now. Can he stay on the back of that Williams? There is a podium dangling tentatively in front of him. Trying to chase down the top 2, who are half a second apart. Tom de Val with the fastest lap of the race. Besides his pace, links into the pits, or out the pits again after having that spin. So Tico still leads this one. He's jumped the 2 front row starters out of turn 1 and has rarely looked back since. So yeah, 3 seconds for your top two, 6 seconds for Dan, 6 for Funky Fox. I think Callboy's on 6, Sway's on 3, Tom's on 3. Continue to battle. A good battle going on here between Dylan, Funky Fox and Joe Callboy. Of course, Callboy, you had that moment earlier on. Funky Fox, of course, we saw lose his wing for collision with his teammate. Back to P7. You can imagine that Callboy on fresh softs behind him. Racing Dylan on those very old hard tyres. He played the strategy those safety cars hadn't come out. He was on definitely for a podium. Possibly even the win, because I wasn't sure if Tico's tyres would have got to the end. In the end, it became mute as the safety car came out. Still a very entertaining drive from Dylan. He can hang on to P6 because the guys behind him have penalties, so he can afford to let them go. He can hang with them, but he'll want to try and stay ahead as much as he can, then back them with the lead duo. Lynx has now picked up a penalty. Another penalty. First penalty? That might be his first penalty actually. It was. Tico continuing to lead, then he's just half a second ahead of his compatriot. Round at turn 1 they go. They're doing everything he needs to hold him at bay. Dylan continuing to resist the advances of cars on fresher tyres behind him. Been doing that all race long, and he's doing an absolutely outstanding job with it as well. Graham is hanging on to the coattails of Dan Morris then for 2.5 laps to go. Lynx emphasising his pace now with the fastest lap of the race. Of course with 6 seconds of penalty, so he's going to drop probably behind both Graham, Matt and Dylan here. Back then to the lead battle. Down to the penultimate corner. 2 miles to go. Lynx has made a move on Sway. Into 4. Lynx going fastest of all in sector 1 again. Tico, you can see they're just keeping that gap up of about 7/10 of a second, so he's not going to be under threat into turn 1. Dutch will close up once again. Dutch, you see how much DRS he's burned. He's got right onto the back of him now though. DRS again though, but Tico can just use his battery to defend as and when he needs to. Dutch just closed in, but not close enough to strike into turn 2. Tom Laval with a penalty further back. What's happened there to Dutch? Looked like he ghosted for a second there, but on his way again. Maybe just drop back a little bit. Lynx again, new fastest lap for Lynx is 16.6. The flag sector 3. Oh, it's Sway's DNF'd in the pits unfortunately, so Sway is not going to see the flag. On the line to the pits as well. Is he going to go for fastest lap on the last lap? Tico there opening that gap up now. It's 1.4 seconds. I think Tico has broken the challenge of his compatriot. Out of the penultimate corner for the penultimate time. So about to start the final lap of the race. The Ferrari man's gap is now 1.5 seconds. Yeah, I think this one now, barring a penalty or a mistake from the Ferrari. Yellow flag set further back. Lynx, I think, had a spin. Through turn 4, Tico negotiating that successfully. Graham is now just dropping back away from Dan. Dan's already put the hammer down. He could, no, sorry, he needs, but yeah, he's got 6 seconds of penalty, hasn't he? So yeah, Graham can afford to let him go. Dylan continuing to fend off Funky Fox meanwhile. I think people are going to be sick of the sight of the back of that Alfa Romeo. We're not able to use his tyres either, despite having a massive tyre advantage. Oh, Dan's got another penalty on the final lap. A couple of corners from home. That's going to possibly drop him further down the order. But he has been absolutely brilliant from the moment the lights went out. Around the final corner he comes, and Tico will win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Dutch is second, Dan will cross the line in third, but Graham's going to jump onto the podium. Great drive from him. TG Tibos comes home fourth, Dylan is fifth, Dan drops to P6 with Callboy up to seventh. Monkey Fox has spun before he's crossed the line out the final corner. Crosses the line backwards. Coming around, meanwhile, Tom Duval, I believe, is going for fastest lap on the final lap. Let's see how he's getting on. He is 0.3 of a second up in sector 2. Just 3 corners to go. And the final corner, is it going to be the fastest lap on the final lap? The answer is, he's going to jump links as well. It is fastest lap for Tom Duval. Snatches P9 as well, as Lynx was waiting for him. And there we have it then. Dan Morse gets driver of the day, having come from 17th on the grid, I believe. But it is a victory for Tico in Hungary. Season 16 champ takes his, I believe, his first win of the season. No, he did win technically on the road in Portugal. Yep, a win of the season for Tico. Dutch joins him on the podium P2, and Graham a brilliant drive up to P3. Once again, showing that cleanliness is everything, especially on a circuit like this where penalties are rife. And the final classifications then. Tico then takes the win. Jumped them at the start. He drove away in the first stint as well. He was probably the man to beat in the race, and fitting a victory for him. Dutch comes home in P2. Graham up to third then. That Tibos fourth. Great drive from him. What could have been if he maybe made the different strategy call. No penalties as well. He could definitely have factored for the win there, as could Dylan, but they stuck on those old tyres and they just got jumped by those who swapped to softs at that final safety car. Dan comes home P6 from 17th on the grid. Callboy, good job from him in P7. Funky Fox recovers to P8. Tom Duval snatching the fastest lap there, finishing P9. And Lynx the final finisher in P10. Retirements then. Sway retired in the pits. A couple of laps from home. Andwar, I believe, got contact in that last part of the race. Zumpy spun out at turn 4. Adamako crashed out at turn 2. And then Noah Jones, Wesker, Dara and Shazoo Tom, the earlier retirements, unfortunately then. So that is the end of action for tonight. Of course, we are back tomorrow with Div 2, same time, same place, same circuit, and we get to do it all over again as we resume a battle for the Div 2 title, and then back with GT Sport Thursday and Friday. GT2 on Thursday. See how our new recruits, a few familiar faces, get on as they attack the GT2 crown, and then a few new faces in GT1, which is back on Friday as well. The opening week of the season is at Lago Maggiore East, I believe, so do join us for that. But for those who have tuned in tonight, thank you very much for dropping into the stream. If you can, give it a like before you leave, it helps us out immensely, and we will see you back here tomorrow where we do it all again for Div 2. But for this evening, thank you very much and good night.